While estuaries aren't the most popular biomes, they're definitely very unique and host numerous amounts of wildlife and many other things benefiting humans and animals alike. An estuary is unique because it is found in places where freshwater meets saltwater, and in a world where most organisms either live in one or the other, it can be very interesting to see what happens when the two meet. While on the surface an estuary might not look that different from a pond, due to the fresh and saltwater mixing, we see lots of unique organisms like fish adapting between the fresh and saltwater. So in today's video, we'll be teaching you about what an estuary is and what makes it so special. Many animals are found in estuaries, and depending on where the estuary is, you may find numerous of different species. Some common animals include shore and seabirds, different kinds of fish, crabs, lobsters, and clams. You can also find other shellfish along with marine worms, and on land you might find things like raccoons, possums, skunks, and lots of reptiles. Estuaries are full of decaying plants and animals. This makes the soil of estuaries rich in nutrients. Because the soil is so rich, lots of different plants grow in estuaries, and this allows for the support of a lot of wildlife. While there's not really a unique animal to an estuary, lots of fish that live there possess special traits. They need to possess these traits in order to adapt between fresh and salt water. So some fish are catadromous, meaning they are born in salt water, then migrate to fresh water. They won't return to the salt water until they breed. Yet some fish are anadromous, meaning they are born in fresh water, then migrate to salt water, and then they won't return to fresh water until they need to breed. And then some fish are amphidromous, meaning they are born in freshwater or in an estuary, but then they grow up in saltwater, migrating back to the freshwater in order to breed. Due to the rich nature of estuaries, lots of organisms are able to thrive. Some of the top organisms we see on the food chain include humans, dolphins, and even sharks. Major consumers in the chain include large fish, birds, and crabs. Producers are grass, trees, algae, and seaweed. And last but not least, decomposers included in the web are snails, worm, flies, moss, bacteria, and lots more. And of course, individual and unique species will all depend on where the estuary is located.
Estuaries are usually located near coasts where streams and rivers drain into the ocean. Vegetation in estuaries mostly consists of algae, seagrasses, and mangroves. There is very little precipitation, and usually during the summertime there's more, about 400 millimeters, and about 75 to 50 millimeters during the wintertime. The soil is very rich in nutrients, and it's made up of sand, clay, and silt. The temperature usually increases when the amount of precipitation goes up, and it stays around 55 to 65 degrees. There's many animals in estuaries, and some of the animals include shore and seabirds, fishes, crabs, lobsters, turtles, gooses, geese, skunks, and many other reptiles. So here we have a loggerhead turtle. It is known as the alligator snapping turtle, and it is primarily worldwide throughout the subtropical and temperate regions. It is the largest freshwater turtle in North America and usually will weigh over 100 pounds. Loggerhead turtles are primarily carnivores, and they have very strong jaws that allow them to crunch and eat many crabs. They also eat shrimp, fish, and sometimes seaweed. Loggerhead turtles have very big heads with powerful jaws. Their top shell is usually heart-shaped and is kind of brown red, and the bottom shell is usually a pale yellow color.
The Canadian goose is one of the many animals that can be found in an estuary. They are large birds with a black neck and white cheek patch. Their body is brown with a paler chest with black feet. They are native to the Arctic and temperate regions of North America. They migrate across the Atlantic to northern Europe. They are primarily herbivores and they weigh between 5 and 14 pounds. Estuary provides many different benefits, such as tourism from the recreational activities they provide. They also have become a great place for fisheries to be established. They also serve as many important ports and harbors. Estuaries has also been used as many different vacationing spots, some being Virginia Beach and Cape May.
In conclusion, an estuary is quite the biome, hosting numerous amounts of organisms and benefiting so much more.
This is the estuary, where the river meets the ocean. And here we have a loggerhead turtle. It experiences very little rainfall throughout the years, and this is a rare time for when it rains. It is during the winter, so it is pretty cold right now, but the temp usually stays between 55 and 75 degrees.
And as you see in the back room, the Canadian geese that come here in the warmer weather.
This